Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Startup Disrupt event. My name is Veronika Ivanova. I am a financial consultant for small and medium-sized enterprises and startups, and I am the first certified Profit First professional in the Czech Republic. And that's why I can introduce to you today Ron Saharian, who is one of the co-founders of Profit First Professionals. Welcome, Ron.
Thank you, Veronica. Thank you, Czech Republic and Fintech attendees. I'm really excited to be here.
It's great to have you here. Well, it's the first time that our community hears about Profit First cash flow management system. So what can they expect? How it works? What is it?
Awesome. So Profit First is a cash flow methodology. It's not accounting, it's not bookkeeping, but it is a system, right? Business owners know that they need systems. They need to have their delivery systems, their hiring systems, their marketing systems, their enrollment systems. All you startups know that systems are very important.
We love systems.
We love systems, yet very few actually have a cash flow system. Now that's key. A cash flow system is different than forecasting, right? We have implemented and created a pay yourself methodology, a cash flow system that's going to ensure that startups or any size businesses, the business owner will, one, ensure that they're paying themselves first. Two, we're going to create a war chest of cash for the tax man because they're going to want their money. And three, we're going to have a focus on profit from day one. And so even if that profit is 3.5%, a business owner, if they're in existence for a little while and they have some debt, they can pay down their debt. They can celebrate the health of the company, or they can hire. So you startups that want to hire, there you go. That's an excellent opportunity, but you really need a system on how to allocate your money for purposes that are important to the growth and success of the company.
Okay, and how does Profit First system helps to allocate money? You know, you get, ideally, you get investment from an investor, and you work with it. How do you work with it? And what's the best way to work with it?
Yeah, so I want to tell you, go back in time. Everybody has heard about pay yourself first, right? That's nothing new. We've all been told pay yourself first. Yet business owners, especially startups, sacrifice themselves. They don't pay themselves. They pay everybody else. They don't reward themselves for taking the initiative to create an awesome opportunity. And so the behavioral cash flow system that we created is loosely based on grandmother's envelope budgeting methodology. I'd like to explain it to those who aren't familiar with it. And so this is how my grandmother taught my mother, who taught me how to manage our cash. Okay. So whenever grandmother got a little bit of money, let's just say $1, okay, she would have 4 strategic envelopes back in the day. One was for food, one was for rent, one was for a church, and the other was for clothing. Okay. And so what she did is she took a predetermined percentage of that dollar and put that percentage into each envelope. So let's just make it easy. $1, 4 quarters equals $1 in America. So she would take a quarter and put a quarter in each one of those envelopes. So what she would do then, say the food envelope, she had a quarter in the food envelope. She would just take that food envelope to the grocery store because she knew if she brought all of the money to the grocery store, there was a high probability that she would spend it all. So what she did was put guardrails in place to make that money last. And the reason why, it's because there's something out there called Parkinson's law. Parkinson's law, Northcote Parkinson is a theorist. Him and Stephen Hawking actually agree that us human beings are going to exhaust the resources that are available to us in any given point of time. Okay. That means if I give you a project for 10,000 euros and ask you to do it in a couple of weeks, you're going to spend 10,000 euros and it's going to get done in a couple of weeks. If I gave the same build out to somebody else for the web design project and said, here's 100,000 euro in 10 weeks, they're going to spend 100,000. It's just how it works, right? And so what's happening out there is that people are basically using all of the resources. Okay. And what's happening is people are selling, expenses are going up, and what they have left over is nothing. We want to eliminate that. And so what this is the other side of Parkinson's, which means that when resources are less, we're going to be more creative. We're going to be more innovative. We're going to try to do more with less. Right. And so we want to operate a business and constrain the resources in a way that we are, really entrepreneurial, where we are really creative. And so I'd like to just share an example that everybody can relate to regarding Parkinson's law. Okay. When we get a new tube of toothpaste, right? You lay some toothpaste on that toothbrush, you brush your teeth. Great. No problem. Sun falls off into the sink. You got a brand new tube. Gonna put some more on there. Great. But as that month goes on, that tube of toothpaste gets less and less and less. And I don't know about you, Veronica, but I've seen my wife cranking that toothpaste over the corner of the sink, trying to get it up. I'm squeegeeing it, right? To get more out of it. So you're like working it so hard to just get that little piece of toothpaste out so you can finally brush your teeth, right? Some people, they even have tools, right? Those things that they wind up. That is innovative. That's creative. But how can we apply that to our businesses? Well, let's get back to grandmother's envelope. Okay. Right. If she just went to the store with one big envelope, that's like having one big operating account, right? Most business owners do bank balance accounting. You lift up the hood, you log on to your bank account, and you see how much money there is. And you make decisions based upon that. But what you're neglecting, especially startups, are some important factors, right? One, paying yourself. Two, having money for the tax man. Three, having profit. Four, having security. Five, purpose. And so what Profit First Professionals has done has taken grandmother's envelope methodology and brought it to the 21st century and have been able to create a front windshield approach to how you allocate your money. We do this by opening up bank accounts instead of envelopes.
Okay. That's the practical impact. I was wondering, isn't it like, like back to basics principle? We are talking about apps today and, cash flow applications and cash flow management systems, like everything is on mobile phones. And so, this is like back to basics principle.
It
adapted
is.
to the 21st century. In what way then?
Yeah, it's fiscal responsibility. It's having a purpose with each dollar that you have. It's putting guardrails in place so your expenses don't get out of control. It ensures that the business owner is paying themselves so they don't end up hating their company. It ensures the survivability of startups. Unfortunately, 50% of you guys aren't going to make it. That's horrible.
Yeah,
that's horrible
here. And,
yeah. Well, the problem is, Veronica, and you and I have discussed this, entrepreneurs aren't stupid. They are brilliant. They are smart. You guys create products, software, you hire, you market, people give you money. But why is the survivability rate so bad? Why? How come startups don't make it to year 5 to 10? It's not because, right? It's not because you guys don't know what you're doing. It's because you were taught the wrong system. You were taught the wrong way. We all were taught the wrong way. Okay. You guys were all taught a lie. We were too. And this is the lie. Sales minus expenses equal profit. Wait a second.
That's a general formula. That's a general accounting financial formula.
But it's wrong. It's wrong. And structurally, it makes sense. But from a behavioral perspective, it's wrong. What comes first is important. What comes first gets measured. What comes last is an afterthought and undesirable, right? So if you get picked last for a sports team, you're not that as good as the first person that got picked. So what we've been doing all of our lives have been telling ourselves from a behavioral standpoint that profit is a leftover, that it's the crumbs, right? And it shouldn't be that way. So the real formula, okay, this is the world is flat. This is the world is flat. The round world is sales minus profit equal expenses. Sales minus profit equal expenses. Think about that.
First time we hear that. It's like the reverse engineering in finance.
Absolutely. You sell, take your profit, manage the business on the rest of the expenses. Okay. But one of the things that I want to make sure everybody is familiar with is that P, okay, that capital P in that equation, profit, it's not all about profit. It's about owner's pay. It's about tax. It's about, of course, profit, security, purpose. Okay. Yeah. So here, take your profit, you're taking your owner's pay, you're allocating a little bit for the tax man, you're profitable, your security, 3 to 6 months of core capital available, I don't know, in case a pandemic happens, right? And so we're building a war chest of cash for acquisition, for investments, but also in case something bad happens. And of course, purpose. What is the purpose? Our purpose is to eradicate entrepreneurial poverty. Right? We take that very seriously. This is the formula that is going to ensure that you are not a statistic of one of those startups that does not make it.
Yeah. Well, usually what startups do is that they reinvest all the money in the business, in growing the business, and hopefully in a couple of years, they're able to sell it. That's when they make their profit. That's how today people think.
I know. And, I get it. And this is a way to also bust the doctrine of sacrifice. I see so many startup owners sacrificing themselves, right? For the business, for the hope that their business gets bought, the hope that they can sell their business at a premium. The reality is very few businesses get sold at the value that the business owner wants, right? People are buying systems, profit, processes. Okay. That's how you achieve a greater valuation. And so why profit first can also be used as a significant growth tool. So if you're looking to plow back all of the money into the business, I understand that. Okay. But you need the framework to execute paying yourself. I'm not saying you have to pay yourself $1 million. I'm not saying you have to have $1 million for tax or any of that stuff, but you have to start implementing this framework where maybe you're paying yourself 1%. You have 1% for tax and everything else is going into the operating account. You can still do that, but get in the habit of paying yourself first, allocating money with a purpose, and having a front windshield approach to how you're going to be utilizing your money. Traditional accounting and bookkeeping, they're historians of what just happened. We know what happened. We spent money. That's also why many of you are going to get your financials and you're going to read it and you're going to say, oh, great, I have a profit. But where is it? Right? Well, you spent it. That's the problem.
There's a difference between accounting profit and cash flow and real cash. And that's basically what we are teaching today is the real cash and cash flow.
Yeah, well, Veronica, over here, there's a saying, cash is king, right?
Same here.
I'm going to disagree. Okay.
Wow.
Yep. Okay. I'm going to say that a cash flow system is king, right? Because what happens when you don't have a system, anybody can go out and sell something, right? Go out and do a discount, get some money in, get some money and get some money in. But if you don't have the proper system in place to allocate that with purpose, you're doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result.
Yeah. And we keep on doing that.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And that's why this is so new. That's why I'm so proud that you're bringing this to the Czech Republic and bringing something so new, so innovative, but yet so tested.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the country.
Well, thanks, Ron. And just to end our discussion, how does it work in practice? You mentioned about, checking our bank balances. So is it an app? Is it an Excel sheet? We know it's a system, but how do we implement it?
So,
If you leave the conference now, you want to implement it, what do you do?
the first thing you do is go to your local bank and open up a couple of more bank accounts. Okay. Now, these bank accounts are holding accounts. You're not writing checks into them. You're not collecting money into them, but we have 5 foundational accounts. The first account that we want to open in title is called the income account. Okay. Money is going to go into that income account. Then we're going to have an owner's pay account, a tax account, a profit account. Then you have your operating account in that order. Okay. So you go to the bank, you open up those 5 foundational accounts. Then what you do when you get your first deposit, well, before you get your first deposit, you determine what percentage of income you're going to allocate into each one of these bank accounts or buckets or envelopes, if you will. And let's just say, for an example, you want to start small. And I highly recommend lowering the bar. It's the only time I will tell people to lower the bar. You need to build up your profit first muscle memory. You can't just take 20% out of an OpEx and start carving it up. It'll fracture the company. It's like taking a frozen mug and sticking it into a microwave. Not a good idea. So let's just start simple. Let's just start by allocating 1% into the owner's pay, 1% into the tax, 1% into the profit. Okay. Then you have 97% to run the business on. Over quarters, you start increasing those percentages. You start increasing the percentage in owner's pay, in profit, in tax, and you're decreasing your operating expense. Right. And you'll get to a point where, okay, you want to make a capital investment. You want to open up another location. You want to hire. Well, let's be strategic about it. Okay. One of the things that a lot of startups want to know is, how do I know when I can hire? Well, what we're going to do is open up a new hire account, allocate a small percentage in there. Then when that's built up, you have enough money to hire somebody at that rate. But getting back to your original point, even if the audience just goes down there and opens up 1 or 2 additional bank accounts and allocates it in there, right? We're removing the temptation. We're only looking at the operating expense and deciding what we're going to do with that money, because we can do whatever we want with that money because we already paid ourselves. We already are profitable. We already have money for the tax man.
Okay, great. Well, money for the tax man, there needs to be some, but of course, that's probably the least favorite account.
I know it's the rigged system that we're all in. And so if we can frame the mindset that, if I'm paying a lot in taxes, chances are I'm making a lot of money myself, right? That's generally how it works. Okay. And so why we hate paying taxes is because we usually don't have the money to pay those taxes. We have to go into our savings account. We have to get a loan. We have to do something, right? This is a way to prevent that. And you can now focus on growing the business because you're not worried about, how am I going to pay myself? How am I going to pay the tax man? Am I ever going to be profitable? You will be profitable in paying yourself from the very first deposit if you implement this system.
Great. So we become profitable, we become innovative, we incentivize growth of the company. Any other gains? I mean, sounds great.
Yeah, it's amazing. And there's a lot of skeptics, no doubt about it. But Profit First professionals were in over 30 different countries, over 600,000 implementations of Profit First. The book's been translated into over 20 different languages. We have Profit First US, Profit First Canada, Profit First Germany, Profit First Australia, Profit First Netherlands. All of these countries are implementing Profit First. Yep, you got it. You got it. And so whether you're a startup or $100 million business, or a $25 million biotech firm, a $3 million marketing company, a startup that is just getting $10,000 or euros, okay, it doesn't matter. And why it's successful all over the globe, whether it's in Israel, whether it's in South Africa, whether it's in Czech Republic, it's because it is a cash flow system, a pay yourself first methodology. It is not accounting. It is not bookkeeping. How you do your taxes, how you do your bookkeeping remains the same.
Great. Well, thanks, Ron, for your time and for introducing this system to the Startup Disrupt community. Really appreciate it. And we are looking forward to new growth and profitable startups in the Czech Republic.
Absolutely. I love it, Veronica. Thank you so much for championing this cause. It means the world to me. Your audience, you guys mean the world to me. We need more entrepreneurs to be successful. We need more entrepreneurs that they can grow their companies and hire. Don't be a statistic. Let's do it right.
Sure. Everybody who is here today is going to do it right. So see you next time.
Thank you. And may the profits be with you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.